feel about dreams. And yes, if you were wondering, this is me. And yes, that's what my hair looks like in the morning. And I still wish I could rock that Care Bear onesie. So, dreams. So when we think about our dreams, I get so excited when people tell me what is most exciting in their heart. Because in that moment, we are transported to a different time and space, and everything is possible. We are designed to dream. If you think about it, what has propelled humanity forward is our ability to dream. Someone's dream became a reality. Think about electricity. We would not have electricity if someone didn't have that come into being. Thomas Edison, all of the people, Tesla. If you think about going into space, or you think about the Wright brothers, all of that came from a dream that became a reality. But it is not enough to dream. We need the dreamers who dare to do, because we must put those dreams in action. So before I get more into dreams and why it's so important that we dream them, that we do them, I want to take 2 steps back and tell you how I got into all of this. So 9 years ago, I was asked a question that forever changed my life. What would you do if you had 6 months to live? At the time, I was 26. I had just moved back from living in China for 3 years, and it was the recession. So I went from having a very good life in China to being without a job, on my mom's couch, looking for work. So I was pretty sad. I was very discouraged because I was so excited about moving back to the States. But here I was, feeling very sad and very sorry for myself. And my dream was to move to San Francisco. And if you know anything about the States, you know that Atlanta and San Francisco are very, very far apart. So me moving to San Francisco might as well have been like me wanting to move to the moon, because I knew no one there and I had no idea how to get there. So I went to a conference and someone asked me, what would you do if you had 6 months to live? And I found that this is a focusing question, because if we had 6 months to live, how would we change our life or do our life differently? And even more importantly, what would happen if we took 6 months to truly live? So the first thing I realized, if I had 6 months to live, I would do what I really wanted to do. And the second thing I realized was I wouldn't let my fear of what other people thought of me stop me from going for what I really wanted in my heart. So the first thing I did was I bought a ticket and I moved to San Francisco with 2 bags, an air mattress, $1,000, and a dream. And I hoped that it would work. And every day I went on interviews, and every day I tried to get a job. And luckily, 5 weeks later, I got my then dream job working for a CEO of a multinational company. The second thing that I did was I realized that if I really had only 6 months, I would want the people to know that I care about, that I do. So I wrote over 100 letters of appreciation to people from all over the world, and I still do it every year for the past 9 years. Because if we really had valuable time, why aren't we telling the people we care about that we love them? Why aren't we sharing what's in our hearts? And then I also realized that it's so important to talk to other people about what they're doing in their lives. How are they truly living their dreams? So I got inspired by that, and I started doing many activities. It changed the way that I focus on life. It was one of my dreams to fly a plane, so that's me flying a plane in San Francisco. And I got so excited about this idea of why is it that we are only taking time to really think about how we want to live our lives when something drastic or dire happens? Life is the most important thing we have, and how we approach it is everything. So as I was going through and as my life was changing, it turned from a life experiment, and I emphasize life experiment because an experiment is a test. So if it works, great, and if it doesn't work, that's okay. So as I was writing this blog and going through this life experiment, I tried and dared to dream even bigger and bigger. And one of the things in interviewing people, I thought about who are the people around me who are already living a really amazing life. And I thought about my grandmother. This is my grandmother. She was 73 at the time. This was her first time in the ocean. So she had never been in the ocean before. She had never had that chance. But I saw her in this picture and on her 100th birthday, and she had this excitement in her eyes. She ate ice cream every day of her life. And she also had, except for Advent and Lent, and she also showed everyone around her what it means to live by example. So as I was going through this experiment, something kept happening. People would see, my photos on social media, and they'd say, "Wow, Jackie, that's great. The 6 months to live experiment is really good. What are you going to do with this?" And so as I was building out, talking to people, I noticed a core theme. Everyone kept saying to me, "This is so great, but how do I know what I want?" And I kept realizing as I was talking to people that people actually, many of us don't know what we want. And then I realized we're not dreaming. We're not encouraging each other to dream. We're not encouraging it in the workforce. We're not encouraging it in school in the same way that we used to. And when we dream, we imagine a different possibility than the one that we already have. We are transported into a different world, and we can see and dream bigger. So it is so important that we use that muscle and we think about what we really, really want. The top 5 regret of the dying is, I wish I had had the courage to live the life I really wanted, not the one others expected of me. So if we are truly living a life that is true to us, and we are dreaming our dreams, and we are going for them, we are inspiring other people just by seeing what we're doing and how we're going about our life. That's why we need the dreamers who dare to do. But when I started doing a little research on this, I found that we're not talking about dreams. We see inspirational quotes. These are some of my favorite inspirational quotes. And anyone who knows me knows I love a good inspirational quote. You come to my house, you will get an inspirational quote. You come to any of my classes, you will get an inspirational quote. I love inspirational quotes. But when I did research, I found that there was nothing about talking about the science of dreaming or how dreams really come true. It was all based on success and goals. And the difference between a dream and a goal is that a dream is a vision. It is a higher idea that you are holding for yourself. And a goal is how you're actually going to get there. So maybe your dream is to climb Mount Everest, and your goal is, I'm going to climb it this date, and I'm going to set this plan. So I realized that most people, we are setting goals. Only 8% of our New Year's resolutions come true. And I think that is partly because we think that we set the goals that we think we are supposed to, not the dreams that are in our hearts. So what would it be like if instead of a life change, like a New Year's resolution, we thought of a life experiment? We thought about how we can actually dream bigger and brighter and think about what is it that you really want. And if you don't know what you want, which is very common, start with your heart. You will know it is your dream because it will wake you up in the night because you're so excited about it. It doesn't mean it's always going to be easy. It doesn't mean every dream is worth pursuing, but you will know the dreams that are worth going for because it excites you. You feel enthusiastic. You get up in the morning and nothing is going to stop you from achieving that. So when we think about also how we're living our lives, I also found in my research that 87% of the global workforce is not engaged at work, which means that we are spending our waking days and our living moments unengaged with our life. So if you're not sure how to think about, okay, what do I want or what's my dream, start to ask what if questions. What if I weren't afraid to fail? That's one of my favorite ones. What if I could do anything that I wanted to do. What if money weren't a problem? What if I wasn't worried about what this person would think? Just start dreaming. And as you're dreaming, I encourage you, when that voice comes in that says it's not possible, or you're crazy, or it'll never happen, or what would this person say? Go back to those dreams within and ask yourself, is this what I really want? Even just giving yourself space to dream creates an opening for all of us. Because in those moments, we're able to create more potential. So as we go for our dreams, we are showing other people what's possible, but we're also able to show and reach and grow through the process. So as we're thinking about, taking that step, and how are you going to really be the dreamers that dare to do, I know that this is a very, very popular saying in China and also in the States. 1,000-mile journey begins with a single step. Start where you are. Look around. Look at all of the issues that are going on in our planet. The future is fluid. So we have the capacity for great good, but we also have the capacity to do great harm. What can you do? If you're not sure what your own dream is, help someone else's dream. Support someone else. See what is possible and encourage them. I had one of my clients come to me, and she was so excited about starting a new blog, but she was really afraid to tell her family and her friends about it. And I said, a dream is like a newborn baby. When you have a newborn baby, you don't bring it out into the bright sun. You make sure that the baby is a little bit older. You make sure that it has sunscreen, that it has a hat. You want to make sure that that dream is well protected. So as you are dreaming and going out and doing, make sure that you are protecting that dream, that you're surrounding yourself with people that really will help you achieve that. So I want everyone to have a quick question for you before we kind of wrap up for the day. So the quick question is, how many of you have had a dream at some point in your life? Okay, yes, great. How many of you have taken time recently to actively dream? Okay, so a pretty good number. Yes. And if you haven't, I encourage you to take that step today. Make a commitment to yourself. It is a new year. It's a new beginning. There's a lot of opportunity, and we need the dreamers. We need you. We need your courage. We need your heart. We need your vision, because the world, the things that we have going on, global warming, poverty, all of these things, all of the good things, we can imagine a better world together. So I invite you to join me in the newest experiment, which is, what would the world be like if we all took time to dream and actually act on our dreams? How powerful could the world be? How good could the world be? What else is possible, and how can we realize that together? 谢谢。